Hi there, my name's Dr. Carl Larsen. If you ever meet me, don't call me doctor because it still makes me nervous. I'm the Programme Director for Zoology at the University of Liverpool. You can probably tell by my accent, I'm a Scouser. I was born in Liverpool, I've travelled around, lived abroad, but the city kind of brings you back, so I've still kept that Scouse accent. So just a bit about me. I normally, when I take my students on field trips and stuff, I'll ask the people on the site, the rangers and the conservationists, to give them a bit of a CV about themselves, how they got into the job. So I'll just tell you, just do the same for me really. My main inspirations are my dad and wildlife programs when I was a kid. And yeah, I grew up in terraced house in Liverpool. There wasn't a fat lot of wildlife on my doorstep, and I used to stand on my mum's dressing table in a bedroom and look out the top window of the house, and I could see the hills of North Wales, and I'd think, there must be some amazing wildlife there, and I'll probably never see it. So I used to get my wildlife fix by watching Wildlife on One. David Attenborough used to narrate it, so I used to look forward to that every week. And then I'd go in my backyard or my garden with plants and stuff growing, and all that became the Serengeti, and all the bugs and animals and plants and stuff I saw there were the kind of African wildlife. But my dad is my main inspiration. He was a boatswain, like a lot of Scousers. He worked on the ships. So he worked in the Royal Navy, and then he was a boatswain in the Merchant Navy. And his stories of travelling around the world, stopping in different ports and meeting different cultures. You know, they used to have to moor these big tankers in the river in the Congo, and they'd attach them to trees in the jungle. And the ship's lights of an evening attract all moths and bats and geckos and stuff off the ship. And it was those kind of stories that inspired me to study zoology. I love diversity in whatever form, you know, whether it's biodiversity or cultural diversity. And because Liverpool's such a diverse city, it kind of embodies all those things. I still love to travel, and I love to teach about it. I love to teach about seeing animals and studying animals in different countries. So my qualifications, did my undergraduate degree, graduated from the University of Liverpool in '93. I was in environmental science and physical geography. And then I did my PhD on the ecology and evolution of the nightjar, which is an unusual nocturnal bird. It winters in Africa and flies to the UK and Europe in the summer and breeds on heathlands and in pine plantations. My current research still looks at nocturnal birds and how they communicate and how they sense their environment. And I also do pedagogy research, so I look at, for example, the benefits of field work. My other roles, I've got lots of roles at the university, many grown-up roles, but I've still got time to do the thing I like most of all, which is teaching. And the thing about teaching, my friends joke they don't see it as a proper job, because when I talk about it, I obviously seem to enjoy it too much. But it sounds a bit cheesy, but as an educator, as an academic, you're in a very privileged position, and you can influence the mind of a young person and potentially what they do in the future. So my colleague and myself certainly don't take that position lightly. It's a big deal. A teaching philosophy is no questions too stupid. So whether it's a lecture or a practical I'm running, if you don't ask questions, you don't know the answer, you're going to listen to a learning opportunity. Okay, so why should you study this subject? You've got a lot of choice, you've got a lot of different subjects to choose from, but the thing about zoology is you can study lots of different organisms. You can study their ecology, their evolution, how they interact with one another, and that makes it a lot more interesting than, say, studying a single organism like Homo sapiens, which is what a lot of my colleagues do. So if you wanted to study Homo sapiens, you can do biomedical science, you can do pharmacology, you can do human anatomy. It's also very topical. You know, we're going through a biodiversity erosion crisis at the moment, so understanding the diversity of organisms, the relatedness to them, how they're linked to one another and their environment, is really useful and essential skill at the moment. Environmental consultancies, field studies council are recognising that graduates have got, certainly even zoology graduates have got a skills deficit in the ability to identify things we put a lot of emphasis on that in our degree. There's also the need for outdoor education, so biology teachers are lacking those outdoor education skills, and you will equip you with those skills on our zoology degree. And it's just a rewarding career, working with animals, working in the environment. The key thing about your job, you've got to enjoy getting out of bed to go to work. You've got to enjoy what you do. So if I was a student again, I want to know who will teach me, who I'll learn with, what I'll learn, and what I might do afterwards. So as I kind of mentioned before, Liverpool is a port city, so it's always been very outward looking, and it's very inclusive and very culturally diverse, and our university embodies that. And that's also reflected in our student body and in our staff body. They're geographically and culturally very diverse. Biodiversity is good for the planet, it's good for society, it's great for university, and it's great for your learning environment. You're very lucky in zoology to have so many outstanding research active scientists, and they'll be leading a lot of the modules that you study on. They'll also possibly be your academic advisor who will guide you through your degree, and they may even be your project supervisor at the end in your final year. Zoology is the perfect size. It's not too big, not too small. I've just got the right number of students, right number of modules. And from my perspective as a program director, I can then keep a track of how you're progressing. What your interests are, we can support you. So it's just the perfect size. You can't remain anonymous. That's the nice thing about it being the size it is. So I mentioned before, there's two broad themes: ecology and evolution. And within those two broad themes, you've got animal anatomy, physiology, animal behaviour, conservation. You can do more specialist groups like bioinformatics and infection biology and host-parasite interactions. There's lots of flexibility within the program for you to make the program more bespoke for you. One thing we do is we put a lot of emphasis on getting you ready for employment. I mentioned before about the skills. We run lots of fieldwork. It's inherently fieldwork based zoology, so we put you in, each time we go on a field trip you'll meet potential employers. They'll talk about how they got into their job. Students often volunteer there and then for organisations, so currently we've got 2 students in the World Museum in Liverpool, another student with the Wildfire and Wetland Trust. We have placements, so you can do placement modules, and we have bespoke careers week where you'll just focus on jobs, so we'll invite potential employers in the field of zoology to come and talk to you about jobs. And what students afterwards, after they graduate, about 3 students last year got ecology jobs, so they're working for one Denbighshire Wildlife Trust, Cheshire Wildlife Trust, and one in Cumbria. Scientific writing seems to be becoming more popular. There are platforms for writing in different ways now, and other students have gone on to become to be researchers, to do PhDs, MScs, and those kind of things. So it's only meant to be short. I've talked for quite long enough now. But if you want to learn more about the program, come and join me in the program presentation. So I've got a longer presentation. We'll have a Q&A. You can explore our booth, look at other presentations, and check out other resources, and put them in your event bag. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to say, thanks for listening. Wherever you go, wherever you do, best of luck. University is meant to be the best time of your life, so make the most of it. Use it as a fresh start if you have to, and hopefully I'll see you in September.